Yeah, so we're at a brilliant free camp. We're only about 30 minutes away from Cradle Mountain, so check this out. G'day, we're David and Paula. Like many people, we've been working hard for many years and we're too young to retire, but we've decided to take a gap year from work. We've bought a new van and we're doing a lap right around Australia.
It's a big hill.
It's a big hill. When did you become the wombat hole expert?
I've seen David in Edinburgh.
It's a wombat selfie. We've only got 3 weeks to visit Tasmania. So this episode we do Cradle Mountain, Montezuma Falls and the West Coast Wilderness Railway at Queenstown. It's only 60 great short walks. So Montezuma Falls are Tasmania's highest fall. So we're doing something that we've been waiting for a long time because we came here once with the kids and we couldn't get on. This is just absolutely insane. So check this out. Yeah, so we're at a brilliant free camp. Check it out. Lake Gairdner. So we're about 30 minutes from Cradle Mountain. So we'll set up for a couple of nights here. We'll do Cradle Mountain and have a look at what else is around before we sort of head on. Ours is only a relatively quick trip to Tasmania as part of the lap. But we got off the ferry at 5:30 this morning. We managed to top up groceries because, of course, all your fresh fruit and veg and those sorts of things, you have to get rid of those before you get on the ferry to come to Tassie. So we got into Devonport. The Coles and the Woolworths are open first thing in the morning. So they're actually open even by the time you get off and drive around to Devonport from the ferry. So we did that, went and found some water, topped up our water, and then didn't hang around Devonport. We decided to head straight down towards the Cradle Mountain area. And so when we got here, it was only about 9 o'clock in the morning. And I suspect you can get 10, 11, maybe 12 camping sites in here. We'll start to get a bit tight after that. But we're nice and spaced out at the moment. And as you can see, the backdrop's just brilliant. Because the weather's so nice, we might head down to Cradle Mountain this afternoon. Check this out. You're just taking it in.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were going to camp up and just have a bit of a restful afternoon before doing Cradle Mountain tomorrow morning. And when we got to our free campsite, we checked the weather report, and typical Tasmania, the weather had changed and they're forecasting some poor weather and rain tomorrow. And it was beautiful, sunny afternoon, slight breeze. So we thought, and jump in the car,
Why
come
not?
down to Cradle Mountain, and we'll at least sort of do some of the iconic shots and things this afternoon. No, Paul, you can't go swimming. So we were at the boat shed just there.
It's a big hill.
It's a big hill. So, morning. It's been drizzly, sort of bit of rain overnight, and the place is still quite beautiful here. We were staying at Lake Gairdner, so made the morning coffee and went looking along the stream. There's platypus in the river here, and unfortunately the only one we've seen this morning. It was just too far away to take video footage of. It was moving sort of at a great rate of knots, sort of out towards the main lake. So we got back from Cradle Mountain last night. Quite a relaxing, sort of easy, sort of late afternoon, early evening, settled in, and we'd been on the go pretty much for a week. So we just crashed last night and got up this morning. And not everything's tea and biscuits, rain overnight, so you just got to get used to sort of living in and around that. But today we're going to head back up to Cradle Mountain. We know that it'll be damp on and off, but again, you just got to work through all that. That's what. Raining one day, foggy the next.
It'll be cold in there.
Yeah. Go and dig him out, Paul. We need a picture.
I don't think it's a current one because we had fresh soil there.
When did you become the wombat hole expert?
I've seen David and Paula. I know.
Okay, righto. So we got quite excited before, didn't we?
We did.
There's a wombat that went down underneath the boardwalk. I didn't want to get too close, but I think I got a reasonable picture. We'll have a look. There you go. That's this afternoon.
I don't think you know.
It's just me.
Oh, yeah, photo upside down.
It's a wombat selfie.
We're taking a wombat selfie. Oh.
Jeez, he's big, isn't he?
And we know that they like this area because, as Paula has pointed out, there's lots of wombat poo everywhere. so they must like this area, according to Paula.
I know.
You can recognise a wombat habitat anywhere, can't you? Yeah. So this is part of the Ronnie's Creek Walk at Cradle Mountain National Park, and we're told that this is the place that that wombats like to be, so you're likely to see them here. You would have needed a fireplace. And some good blankets.
This is the story of Gustav Weindorfer. For many years, until his death in 1932, a visit to Cradle Mountain was not complete without meeting the legendary Weindorfer and staying here at his famous chalet, Waldheim. But Weindorfer did more than simply make this area popular. He played a leading role in the creating of the superb Cradle Mountain Lakes and Clare National Park.
Well, that was pretty good. So this is Waldheim, which was a chalet Kate and Gustav Weindorfer set up. And by the sounds of it, they were sort of quite scientific people. I mean, she'd written papers on the geology of the area. He was sort of into botany and agricultural science and all those sorts of things, and they set up this chalet, and it sort of became the original retreat. And they obviously recognised the value of the area, and eventually that became the whole process of turning this into a national park. So, good idea. Paul sort of said, let's shoot up the hill and have a look at the chalet. Just a little gratuitous B-roll. So Harry at 5 to Fork is not the only person who can do gratuitous B-roll. His looks tastier than ours, so.
Much tastier. I think I'd rather his.
you like his gratuitous B-roll better? Okay, there you go. This morning we went to the interpretive centre at the ranger station. That was okay, probably better for the kids, but good. And we've come down to Ronnie's Creek where we wanted to see some wombats, and within 2 or 3 minutes on the boardwalk we saw a wombat. So now we've got to see echidnas. Then we've been up to Waldheim. There's a number of walks that you can do, some of the long ones. Of course the overland track starts from here, which is pretty ambitious. There's a few sort of 2 to 3 or 4 hour type walks and walking trails, and you can combine them. But near the ranger station there's also a series of little short walks as well. So we'll see what the Enchanted Walk, which is sort of on this list that Tasmania has got of short walks. We understand it's particularly good for families and for kids, but these are the little adventures for the kids just around on this short walk to keep them amused while Mum and Dad are looking at the ecology, okay, and the botany. Paula really wanted to stop for a couple of beers, but I just said no, we can't, we've got to keep walking.
You'll get in trouble for telling fibs one day.
Fibs? It's God's honest truth. So the Enchanted Walk for Mum and Dad, it actually takes you past the public bar and bistro of the Peppers Cradle Mountain Lodge. Sunny with patchy clouds when we left this morning. So as you can see, particularly when you're in the highlands sort of western area of Tasmania, road conditions can change quickly. So take it easy. A bit windy in through this area too, so the ESC, the electronic stability control, has just tugged a couple of times in through there. If you can, we're sort of just out of Tulla and sort of coming towards Rosebery, and then some another 80 kilometres or so is Queenstown. And these are quite stunning areas on the west coast of Tasmania, but they are also old mining areas, and there are still some operating mines in the area. So it's sort of, you've got these things sort of living sort of side by side, wilderness, and then of course the mining areas. It's absolutely spectacular scenery, and you've got to do everything you can to just keep concentrating on the road and for the road conditions, because this is just, oh look at that, that is just, right
I don't think I got that.
Nearly hit me on the noggin. Hey, g'day. So, not all accommodation is caravan park or free camps. Tonight we're at Rosebery. It's a mining town, small mining town. Zian's just down the road, another small mining town. But we've pulled up for the night in the car park of the local golf course and golf club. And the backdrop is actually quite stunning, with the weather coming across. Safe place, and if you're heading to a place like Montezuma Falls, you could even use it as a base if you didn't want to go any further around towards Cradle Mountain. If you wanted to set up here, be close to the coast, so here, Queenstown, Cradle Mountain, down to Strawn, you could do all of that from here. You'll find it on Wikicamps. $10 a night. No facilities. You've got to be completely self-contained. So the good news, Paula, is it's a short walk.
Why is it short?
It says it's on the 60 Great Short Walk. Right? Yeah. Someone's probably... A pleasant morning. Reasonable sort of start.
Brisk.
A little bit brisk, it's not too bad. So Montezuma Falls, Tasmania's highest falls. We just thought it was sort of pretty and sort of typical of this sort of area and region, so go down for a bit of a walk. But the actual trail follows the old Dundas tramway, which was sort of I think a mining tram railway, sort of 2-foot gauge. So it's a grade 2 walk, so it shouldn't be too bad as we get around. But anyway, we'll tell you at the end. But it's supposed to be quite pretty, so we'll see how we go. See how railway cutting.
What's good?
It's similar, isn't it? There's obviously not as much water, not as much running water, but it's the moss on the rocks. Look at that. So different people will have done different amounts of walking. So you should never assume anything while you're doing this sort of stuff. But the one tip I'd say to people when you're having a walk, even sort of a reasonably leisurely walk like this, don't just look at your feet, don't just look down. Yeah, sure, you don't want to fall over, but stop every now and then and have a look up and around you, because sometimes that's where some of the magic happens, and it's actually quite beautiful in here. It's obviously the old tramway bridge. It really is hard to believe that in the early 1900s, late 1800s, early 1900s, when the mining was first established in this region and these tramways were first put in, that the mountains and the valleys side by side of the tramway had been completely cleared of trees. It is still over a century since that period of time, but with the right stewardship you can restore some of these areas. Good morning, how are you? Yeah, just take your time. Keep coming. The bridge is actually quite secure, it's just that it's got that rocky suspension bridge feel to it. Now the suspension bridge wobbles as all suspension bridges do, but it's exceptionally well constructed. So if you get out here, if you can hear me, if you can get out here, it's well worth going out. It's a good view from there, and we're going to go around to the base of the falls and have a look there. I think Paula will be wanting a cup of coffee and a cup of tea as well. What do you think? Is it worth the walk, or you'll tell me after the cup of tea? Yeah, so it's actually quite spectacular. So I got that forecast right, didn't it? Go on, tell everybody that David got it right.
No.
Here's your cuppa.
Thank you. Nice and warm.
I think that was very good. Did you enjoy that?
Yes, it's good.
Was it worth the walk and being a bit wet and damp and all that sort of stuff?
Definitely worth it.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what it's like when it's not raining.
Yeah. But we got some sun, just popped out. So we're doing something that we've been waiting for a long time, because we came here once with the kids and we couldn't get on. So now we're going to be big kids and sort of do just something a little bit more relaxing today. How are you? Fine, yourself? Good. Hey, g'day. Thanks for joining us at Next Level Oz. Next episode, we visit the waterfalls of Tasmania's oldest national park, Mount Fish. We get respite from the weather and take in the taste of the Huon Valley. Then we head south to Cockle Creek, and David walks out to Australia's southernmost point at the Southeast Cape. It just reminds me that when you're sitting here with the water dripping off your nose, this is one of those moments in van life that are not superb fun. So we've got the charcuterie board. Yep. And Paula's already drunk most of her paddle of cider. But the sun's come out temporarily. And I'm doing the South Cape track. Snake on the path, and I wasn't paying attention. Pretty stark, very remote, no one coming to help you. Again, thanks for joining us. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and remember, 100% of our YouTube advertising revenue goes to charity.